really sad hearing about what happened.
New reaction tonight to the Central Texas terror arrests. Continuing coverage of what has been our big story all day. 2 separate arrests of Central Texans accused of supporting terrorists.
Ratul Khan was picked up in Round Rock yesterday. Police there arresting Michael Wolf as he was trying to board a plane at Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston. KXAN's Kevin Schwaller begins our in-depth coverage with new details from the Terra Vista neighborhood in Round Rock.
The images grabbed the attention of this Round Rock neighborhood. This is the spot where the FBI arrested a man they believe had connections to terrorism. Investigators say the suspect, Ratul Khan, was a UT student who lived here with family. Scott Tolar says his in-laws own the house next door, and he's spoken with the homeowner here at Khan's house.
He's actually a really, really nice guy. He calls and asks about my father-in-law all the time, so I really don't think he had anything to do with it, but apparently there were some younger people that did live in the home. I wasn't familiar with them at all.
Court documents say the 23-year-old Khan got involved in an online chat room. It says he discussed guns, training, the war against Islam, his preparation for the Third World War, shooting, and getting the youth interested in the knowledge of jihad. The charges accuse Khan of connecting a confidential FBI source with co-conspirators, who eventually discussed the secret source's passport and possible routes to move the source into Somalia to join al-Shabaab, an al-Qaeda-affiliated terrorist organization. The documents also say the FBI source met with Khan in Austin in an unrecorded meeting. Investigators believe Khan said that he could not wait to spill blood. Khan said that he was actively searching for recruits for a co-conspirator, and he was the only person he knew of doing this. Khan's next step is a hearing in federal court Friday. Kevin Schwaller, KXAN News.
The other suspect in the unconnected case is 23-year-old Michael Todd Wolf, also known as Farouk. As in the Khan case, KXAN's David Scott reports the FBI and other agencies had been keeping a close eye on Wolf for months.
According to the FBI in their criminal complaint, they say that Michael Todd Wolf and his wife Jordan lived in these North Austin apartments and for months plotted how to join the international jihad, where to go, how to raise the money for their trip, and what to do with the 2 children they would leave behind. Neighbors either weren't home or told us they never saw anyone at the Wolf apartment. Agents say wife Jordan supported her husband's desire to join jihad, that the family arranged for everything needed to hit the road. Wolf told an undercover agent he had been physically training for terror, that Allah put jihad in front of people to determine who the real men were. At Austin's oldest mosque, Imam Mohammed Umar Ismail knew Khan a bit, traded some social media messages with Wolf, and sensed no danger or anger from either.
It's really sad hearing about what happened, and we'll let the justice system make the call on it. And I think right now it's a bit too premature to make any sort of statement.
The FBI says Wolf intended to fly to Toronto, on to Turkey, then cross the border to join the fighting in Syria. He was grabbed Tuesday at the Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston before he could board his flight. David Scott, KXAN News.
Both Khan and Wolf could face up to 15 years in jail and a fine up to $250,000 each.
A U.S. congressman from Austin has a unique view on these arrests. Republican Michael McCall is the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. In a statement, he said the arrests suggest a broader problem. The growing safe haven for Islamic extremism in Syria and Iraq poses the greatest threat to the national security of Western Europe and the United States today. This war is not over, and the administration needs to face this crisis head on.
Going deeper now, we looked over 5 of the most recent terrorist plots foiled here in the U.S. One of the planned attacks came from a U.S. citizen. In that case, the Massachusetts man allegedly plotted to blow up the Pentagon and the U.S. Capitol. 2 other suspects were naturalized U.S. citizens. In 2010, one of them planned to hit subway stations in Washington, D.C. The other planned to attack Times Square. For a closer look at what happened here in Central Texas, we spoke to Fred Burton at Stratfor, the Austin-based global intelligence firm.
I think that what is surprising for a lot of your viewers will be that why did this happen here in Austin? These kinds of problems are not supposed to happen here. They're supposed to happen in places like New York City or Washington, D.C. But the reality is they do happen all over the country. And as you look around the nation, there's been thwarted plots in all kinds of cities.